Hey y'all, how's it going? I am Joy, and welcome to our NFL Pick'ems podcast. As always, I am joined by my partner, Steve.
Hey Joy, how's it going?
It is definitely going. It's been a long day, but I am ready to cap this day off with, as always, some really fun NFL action. So, for week 6, Steve and I both went 12-2. Because we have 4 splits and each of us won 2 of them, which is definitely preferred, honestly.
It's a win-win for us.
It is. Honestly, I feel like anytime you have an odd number of splits, it's just more anxiety fueled because you can easily shift positions that way. Where if it's an even number, okay, even keeled, we're good to go, no problem. But yeah, anytime we have an odd number of splits, I'm still waiting for our first splits bill, to be honest. We haven't had one of those yet.
Yeah.
So maybe this week will be that. So, like I said, Steve and I went 12-2. Draz ended up winning the week, going 13-1. So we do have a standings shakeup. Draz and I are now tied for first with 56-36. I've got my eyes on you, Draz. SDS is in second, 55-37. John and Savage Owl are in third with 54-38. Followed by Buff and Beegers with 52-40. Steve and Papa Agron have 50-42. Rev is 45-47, and Troll has 41-51. I cannot read today to save my life. I don't know what's going on, but I'm having a difficult time with it.
No worries. We understand.
Good lord. I knew this was going to be some BS, though, coming into this episode. I don't know why. I'm just, like, completely out of sorts. But it's probably because of all the NFL news. It's kind of head-spinning. Because, as y'all know, we're coming up on the trade deadline, and there's a lot of stuff that has already happened, which we will be getting to as we go over Week 7 and talking about those teams who landed those trades. But...
Okay.
First things first, we have to go through Week 6 recap, starting off with what we think is Game of the Week.
For me, I'm going to go with the Colts beating the Titans in a real close one there.
Yeah, you know what? That was definitely a good Steve special. They won 20-17. I was happy that Will Levis actually started playing minorly okay. Like, he didn't do horribly until he took out the ball boy's ACL. Like, Will Levis just... He's a walking meme at this point. If he's not playing horribly, he's injuring people on the sidelines for no reason at all. So, he's delightful. That was a really good pick. I was thinking about that as well. But for me, I think I'm gonna go ahead and be a little biased. And I'm going to say the Lions' complete blowout victory over Dallas.
Yeah, that's a good one there. But it was a costly win for the Lions there. Aiden Hutchinson going down to a horrible knee injury. Possibly his season's over.
Oh, yes, 100% it is. I do not see him coming back at all until... probably the start of the 2025 season. He might be ready for OTAs and draft hype and all of that, but no. Now the team has to have the rest of the season be winning it for him, basically, which is what Terrion Arnold said. The rest of the season is for you.
Yeah.
So they have to do that. They also lost another defensive lineman as well. So they're to another season-ending injury. So that game was, and it's because they played so hard. Honestly, like revenge obtained, statement made. But at the same time, it did kind of ruin the mood because like Lions fans were riding so high, and then you see Hutch go down and not get back up, and it's just like, oh no. Like honestly, I hit my knees. I was like, no way. Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
And then, then they showed me the injury, and I seen it, and it's like, oh, God, it's nasty. It was such a gruesome break. He broke his fibula and his tibia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's 4 to 6 months recovery time. But I really don't know what to make of it. Like, this week coming up is such an important game that I will be incredibly interested to see how they answer without Hutch. And all I will say is, Aleem McNeil, this is the time for you to earn that extension that they gave you, $95 million worth. Go earn it. Now is your time to step up. But for the game itself, I was just very happy that they pulled no punches. They were just playing with Dallas, you know? It was it was an embarrassing event on Jerry Jones' birthday in Jerry World. It was everything that we as Lions fans needed to exorcise the demons of Dallas. And they did such a beautiful job. So what about, then, the shock of the week?
Ooh, I would have to say that close game there on Monday night between the Bills and the Jets there.
Yeah, there was some controversy with that one, wasn't there?
Exactly.
Yeah, apparently the refs cost both sides different plays and potentially the game, but only one side seems to be really complaining about it, and shocker of all shocks, it's Rodgers there's not seeming to let things go. It's been days since they played, and he's still harping on the injustice of it all. Like, excuse me. You got a BS pass interference call and a PS roughing the passer call, but now you're complaining? You are not in a position to complain, good sir. You get the calls all the time.
Yeah.
It's like when Patrick Mahomes was complaining about the ref taking the game away. It's like, no. You always get the calls. Just because one doesn't go your way now doesn't give you the right to complain about it. And also, from my personal perspective, the third down interception that he threw was completely his fault. It was an underthrown ball. He didn't do his reads and checkdowns and notice that Breece Hall was wide open for the first down. He decided to air it out and go for the gold, and he missed. That's on you. But of course, he's not taking the blame for it, because Mike Williams shouldn't have had to come back for it. He should have been running the route that I envisioned. But anyway. So yeah, that was definitely shocking. I expected the Bills to kind of dominate them a little bit better.
True.
But, c'est la vie. For me, my shock is probably going to be how close the Eagles game was.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm sorry, but Philadelphia should not have only won that game by 4.
Yeah.
It's the Browns. You know? The Browns are a horrible, horrible team this year.
True.
And so the fact that Philadelphia didn't handle them very well is concerning.
Yeah, and did you see the coach there of the Eagles there chirping with the fans there?
No, but if he's getting into a shouting match with the Philly faithful, he is not long for this city. That is one thing that you do not do in Philadelphia. They will beat up Santa Claus with snowballs. You really think that they're going to take you saying anything to them? No. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Sirianni does lose his job, to be fair. We can kind of like peg that for a future Black Monday video that we do.
Yeah.
Per the usual, it's a yearly tradition if you guys aren't aware. Last year we were joined by John. We might be joined by him again because I do like that 3-person format for those kinds of conversations, but we will see.
Right.
So, regret of the week. I don't have one particular game that's a regret. I just have a regret for myself. So, what is your regret of the week?
Yeah, mine is choosing Seattle to beat the Niners. That was a huge mistake there. I figured the Niners were vulnerable with all their injuries there.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I think that they are. I just think that Seattle has more issues than the Niners' injuries are. but it was fairly close. It was 36-24. So it's not that the offense of Seattle sputtered. They just their defense let them down, I think.
Yeah.
So my regrets is going for the spite pick twice and having those two games be my only two losses. Spite ruined my perfect week.
Yeah.
And this is the second time that the Bears have been involved in ruining my perfect week. Because I remember I had a one-loss week at one point, and it was because of the Bears messing that up and giving me my solo loss. So this week it happened to be because I chose spite against the Packers, and the Cardinals decided, you know what, we don't remember how to play football this week. And then I went spite against the Bears, and the Jaguars are, well, the Jaguars. So, yeah, those are my regrets for sure. My disappointment of the week is the Jaguars, as I mentioned. They should have definitely played better in London, historically speaking. So, yeah, them kind of... they lost to a Bears team that has a quarterback who threw the ball in the face of his offensive lineman. You just shouldn't do that. You know, it's not right. So, what is your disappointment of the week then?
This one's a no doubter for me. It's the play of the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Dallas, honestly, for as fun of a game as that was for me to watch, because I loved seeing like Ben Johnson, evil genius at work, and just them having the absolute frick you energy that I love to embody myself.
Yeah.
It was really disappointing though. You're right, because like Dallas has too heavy of a contract, two contracts really, to be playing this poorly.
Exactly.
And I think it's something of great concern with them going forward. I think Mike McCarthy is going to come up in our Black Monday video in the future as well. It just makes sense. Yeah, it was definitely a disappointment. Week 7 looks horrible. Absolutely horrible. So if you're ready to try to dive on into this thing.
Yeah, here we go. We'll start with our bye week teams, and there's only 2 this week there. We have your favorite Hayden team, the Chicago Bears.
Frick 'em.
And of course, my disappointment team of the week there, the Dallas Cowboys.
Frick them too. Sorry, Mr. Agron, but historically speaking, there's been some beef. So I was recently learning more of the issues, and it's like, yeah, you know what? Frick them. They're like rival number 6 for the Lions. It's Packers, Bears, Vikings, referees, Seattle, and then Dallas, for me personally. But all right, so those 2 lucky souls get to be on the bye and watch the good teams play. So first up, we have Denver and New Orleans, another Sean Payton game.
True. Yeah, obviously Denver. I was a little disappointed with them last week. They're not showing up to try to beat the Chargers there.
Yeah, they lost 23-16 to the Chargers, but the Chargers were off the bye. So,
and obviously with the Saints, they're still missing Derek Carr to an oblique injury.
Yeah, they got absolutely manhandled by Tampa last week. So, I think they will fare easier now that they're only playing Denver.
Exactly.
But I am very curious what you think as a Broncos fan going into this game. So I will let you predict it first.
I think obviously the Broncos need a lot more work there, because I'm thinking they're the Saints at home will get their revenge on their former coach there and Sean Payton there and win the game there.
Wow. Okay. Well, per Stephen Joy tradition, our first game is a split because
Oh, well.
Wait a minute. You went Saints, right?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I'm an idiot, actually. I said to myself, we are going with Denver because I was burned by Sean Payton in this Denver and Tampa game. And I should have known that Sean Payton was going to pull some shenanigans. But I actually penned in the Saints, and now I'm mad at myself. Oh no. So we do not have a split. We are both taking the Saints, but now I'm scared.
You sure you don't want to change your mind there?
I can't. It's literal ink. I penned it in. I have to be true to what I said. So
okay. I figured you use a pen to erase it there.
No, it's a pen. Okay. I've penned it in. I'm gonna trust it. I also made my picks in the ESPN Pickems League as well that I'm in, and apparently I took the Saints there too. So my brain is at war with itself, and I don't know how to feel about it. Because like one side of me was like, but Sean Payton revenge game, he did so well against Tampa, and the other side's like, yeah, but it's just Denver though, and it's like, all right, well, sure. Here we go. Alvin Kamara, have yourself a day, please, and make me feel better. Either that or, Bo Nix and his 6'2" self can have himself a day too. That's fine too. I will be happy either way.
Okay.
I'm just very upset with myself. I hope the rest of my picks are what I'm thinking.
Here's hoping.
Okay, so let's see if we are. Next up, we have New England and Jacksonville, who stayed in London, hoping to right the ship.
Yeah. Obviously, with the Patriots there, I don't know how the Kenny Mayne experiment is going there.
Drake May?
Drake May there. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just like, because here's the thing. I know the name Kenny Mayne, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
I remember that name distinctly, but I'm like, wait a second, who is that?
Oh, Drake May.
Yeah.
Here, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm gonna look up Kenny Mayne real quick because I know that name.
Maybe it's from ESPN there.
Oh yeah, it's the American sport, right? I remember you. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, Drake May.
Drake May there. I don't know how he's week one there. Obviously lost to the Texans there last week there.
Right, but my thing on that is like, they threw him to the wolves with Houston, and I think they honestly should have waited until this game.
Exactly.
Let him rest up and prepare for his London venture against a fairly weak team in Jacksonville. I think that would have been a good choice.
Exactly.
But they didn't, so I don't really know how to feel about that. I think that they definitely fumbled his start, but he did do fairly well. I think he threw a couple of touchdowns. He didn't die. That's pretty much all you can expect and hope for.
And obviously for Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence needs a real big bounce back game, and no better to do it against than the Patriots there. So I'm taking the Jags at their adopted home to beat the Patriots.
Okay, now we have our split. I was dumb, but not totally dumb, because I am taking the Patriots because I can no longer trust Jacksonville after what they did to me.
Okay.
I trusted them once. They failed to embrace the run game. Travis Etienne got literally no production, and now he's questionable. He's slated as week to week, so they have to go deep in their own depth at the position. So I'm going to go ahead and, in a risk, taking the Patriots.
Okay.
Now I'm getting pretty risky and frisky in the next game too. We have the Seahawks and the Falcons.
Yeah.
It's a good battle of the birds, but terrifying.
You wish you had Dino to pick this game for you.
Yeah, I should have left it up to him instead of my own mentality and mood and everything coming into play. Yeah. But I didn't. So we'll see.
Yeah. Obviously, Seattle's starting to sputter a little bit there.
It certainly feels like it, doesn't it? And I don't know what happened. I really don't. They need to run the ball more effectively, like they did early on in the season. I don't know why they gave up on the run.
Yeah. No clue there.
No.
And obviously, Atlanta, they're coming off that close win against of all teams, the Carolina Panthers.
Right. I feel like it was closer than the score dictates because they did end up winning 38-20. So it was definitely a dominant performance on paper. But, like, when you have a team like Carolina, it's always kind of weird when it's at all close and it's not like... How do I put this? They didn't defensively keep Carolina out of the end zone enough for my taste.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of worrying if you are Atlanta, but honestly, they have a history of making things more complicated than they need to be. And closer than they need to be. Like I said when I took them to beat Tampa Bay in Week 5, they are consistently close.
Exactly.
So, I really don't know what to think about this game. I think it's going to be a close one, though. So, how do you feel?
Yeah. Obviously, you think it's going to be my specialty there for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a one-possession game. I'm not going to go 3 points or less or anything. That's your thing. Yeah. But I do think it will be a one-score game.
True. Yeah. But for me, I think this game, Atlanta really needs to bounce back from a horrible week to a more improving week there. So I'm taking the Falcons at home to beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, I am trusting Hotlanta as well. Again, it's a very dangerous road to go down with them, but I'm trusting it. I'm just going to have some fun.
Okay.
All right, next up we have Tennessee, God bless their souls, going to Buffalo to face the Bills, who have a new wide receiver for Josh Allen to now utilize.
Yeah, obviously with Amari Cooper there. That'll make some haters of the Bills there say, why don't they then replace Stephon Diggs there? Well, now they did there.
Yep. I mean, not that they needed to be fair, because they've been doing just fine. But, like, bringing in Amari Cooper is definitely a good get for them. And a better get for him, to be fair, because he is going from a really bad situation in Cleveland to a really good situation in Buffalo, where they are more than likely going to be winning their division and making the playoffs, and he has a chance to see that spotlight again. It's really going to be interesting, and I also think that he will be a good presence for Keon Coleman, who could probably use a good veteran to learn from and sit behind and watch a little bit of. So, all in all, great trade idea. Well done, Buffalo. Good job.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tennessee has a lot of players that I don't really mind, but I just think that they're walking into the Buffalo den right now, and it's not going to be pretty.
True. For me, that's going to be a blowout. I'm taking the Bills at home to slaughter the Titans.
Yeah, attack on Titan for sure. I'm definitely in agreement with you. I think Buffalo has this one on lock. And then speaking of the Browns, we have them hosting division rival Cincinnati, and news coming out of that game is the potential return of Nick Chubb.
Yeah. It'll help them with their defensive problems there, but unfortunately this week they're taking on a Bengals offense there that wants to dominate the North there, and what better team to start up against?
Well, I mean, I will say that the Bengals definitely need an easy game. They've been getting kind of beat up a lot lately. But I think that having Nick Chubb back at running back for the Browns is going to kind of help give them a shot in the arm which is what's unfortunate for me, because I made all of these picks before any of the news came down, like any of the trades with Amari Cooper, the Nick Chubb returning, the other trades that we'll be getting to later. It's unfortunate that I didn't see these prior to making my pick, because if I did, I probably would have taken the Browns in an upset. But as it is, I'm trusting Cincinnati.
100% agree there, so lock it in.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And you know what? If we're wrong, I will, like SDS said, gladly take the L to have Nick Chubb be successful again, because that also takes the ball out of the QB's hands, and that is always a fun thing to see.
Yeah.
What's also fun is the potential of the Packers losing when they host Houston. What do we see on this game?
Ooh, this one's going to be a real close game there, because obviously the Packers last week at home, they dominated against the Arizona Cardinals there.
Yeah, they really... Arizona let me down so much. Like, I was hoping it would at least be close. But then they also ended up having Marvin Harrison get hurt. So, great.
Yeah.
I don't know what his status actually is on the injury front. I can go ahead and look that up while we discuss things.
Okay, yeah. And obviously Houston there, CJ Stroud is going good guns there, especially last week against the Patriots there.
Yeah. What game was that?
Houston against the...
Oh, yeah. They won by 20, Houston did, over New England. So, yeah, they also dominated. So we have two really dominant teams going at each other. Also, a point on the Cardinals. It does look like Marvin Harrison Jr. is in concussion protocol ahead of this week's game. So he is likely to miss his first ever primetime game.
True.
Unfortunate.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for me, there, I'm going to go with this game. I'm going to go with my specialty for this one there. And I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at home to shock the Houston Texans.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. But I am choosing to not learn from my lesson.
Okay.
And the spite is hopefully going to be right this time, and I am taking the Strouds on the road in Lambeau to hopefully do well. Also, side note, for those of you watching who also watch Tom Grossi, I am also incredibly looking forward to his If the NFL Was Scripted episode for this upcoming week, because the Strouds and the Packers are facing off, and that story is so good, and I can't wait to see how it blossoms from this now.
True.
I love it. So next we have the Dolphins going to the Colts.
Yeah. Obviously, the big story with the Dolphins is the possibility of Tua coming back possibly in a few weeks.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I think it's not a good decision. I think that with his concussion history, that he needs to take the time to fully heal from it.
Yeah.
And then assess what he wants to do in the off season. Like take these few weeks to get used to no football in your life and see how it feels for you.
Hey, Dino.
Hi, buddy. I know. I would hate it too, but look. Health.
Exactly.
It's important.
Yeah. And obviously with the Colts, Joe Flacco, that's really improved the team there.
Yeah, Father Flacco improved high. Okay.
Agrees.
I don't know if he agrees or if he disagrees or if he's just mad. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Dad just said, he's preparing for bed. So he has to get all of his screamo energy out before going to sleep.
Yeah. Primal screams.
Yeah. I wish there was like a dog where you could like take him out for a walk and get rid of all that, excess puppy energy so he can actually sleep. But no, he just has excess bird energy. I can't do anything about that. So anyway, yes, Father Flacco does certainly help a lot. And because of that, I'm actually taking the Colts in this one.
100% agree there. So lock it in.
Yep, I would not be entirely surprised if there was an upset on this one, because I think that the Vikings, or not the Vikings, wow, that's the next game. I do think that the Dolphins might be kind of surprising, but nah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, as I alluded to, next up we have my Lions going to Minnesota to face the Vikings fresh off of their Week 6 bye.
Yeah. And obviously the Vikings made big news themselves this week, reacquiring Cam Akers.
Yeah, it was big-ish news. I don't really understand the move, unless they think that Aaron Jones is not going to really be reliably healthy. So they have to have some kind of solid backup. But from what Buff was telling me, Cam Akers ain't it. So I was a little confused, but I don't know. We'll see how that works out for him.
True. Yeah. And obviously the Lions, as we discussed there, with problems in their defense there.
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, replacing Hutch is really, really hard and impossible to actually do.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're down 2 defensive linemen for the year, like I said, it's going to rely heavily on Aleem McNeil earning that 4-year extension that he got.
Yeah. Yeah. The question now is for the Lions, if all else fails, will they go and make a trade at the deadline there?
I think they probably will try to. Like, they've already put their feelers out and attempted to, sign players like Hassan Riddick off of the Jets. And, of course, everybody wants Max Crosby. But the Lions are very much a build for the future, build young, build from within, attack the draft type of team. I don't see them going out and getting some kind of like aging big name star that everybody knows about for this particular year. That's not how they're built. That's not how they run. That's not how they operate. So I think that they will get filler pieces like they did when they got Thomas off of Cincinnati's practice squad. He's fairly young as well. So he's young, he's cheap, he wants to play because he was on a practice squad. So he wants to actually see the field. And then they're just going to have to keep platooning their own players. Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader plays a little bit now as well. And I think they're going to run a lot of packages with Alex Anzalone and using their DBs more. So that's kind of what I would expect out of them defensively. For me, offensively, they need to maintain the level of production that they've been having, because they have been absolutely killing it the last 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Well, 3 weeks because they had the bye there. So they put up 47 in week 6, and then they put up 42 in week 4. So it's back-to-back games with over 40 points, and they honestly, to compensate for what's going on with their defense right now, they need to continue to do that.
True. But I'd say they're going to score fewer points this week. To me, because Minnesota's going to be a real tough team to beat. Obviously they're undefeated right now.
Yeah, they are definitely going to be a tough team. Probably Detroit's toughest challenge. And honestly, Hutchinson's injury came at the worst possible time.
True. Because
this game could decide the North. It's still early.
Exactly.
But this is like the turning point of King of the North. And
to me, the NFC North is the group of death, in my opinion. Yeah, all 4 teams are really spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, every team in the North just keeps winning, and it makes me very, very scared and anxious, but it's also really exciting football, it's just really fun to be from the North, But for this game, what do you have?
Yeah, to me, this game, I'm going to go with my specialty on this one here. And I'm going to go with the Vikings at home to beat the Lions there. My apologies, Joy, but still.
Oof. Using the skull against me now. Ow. That I was in agreement, but that kind of hurt. Oh no. But no, I'm going to choose to believe by not believing and try to be kind of smart about this rather than just being a homer. And I'm in agreement with you. I'm actually going to take Minnesota. I think they're a very strong team.
Boy.
Yeah, they're a very strong team, and right now I can't trust how Detroit is going to answer the loss of Hutch. I think they can. I think they will. But I think this is not the week to do that. I would have felt better if this was week 8 when they were facing Tennessee. You know, Tennessee is someone that you can kind of have a feeling out process with your defensive line and who's going to work and what. But I don't think Minnesota is the team that you can afford to have a feeling out process with. And so because of that, I'm going to go ahead and take Minnesota at home, unfortunately. But next up, we have an NFC East matchup with the Eagles, who are very disappointing, and the Giants, who are always disappointing.
Yeah.
If they're not disappointing, they're surprising.
Yeah, this one's going to be a revenge game there, obviously, with Saquon Barkley returning to MetLife there to take on his former team.
That is a good point that I did not think about, but now I'm actually really happy that I went ahead and took the Eagles against my better judgment, because I wanted to go with the Giants as an upset so bad, because I feel like this is the prime game to do it in.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust the Eagles. Like, honestly, they have been so bad as of late. I really don't know what to make of them. And so I wanted to go with the Giants, but I couldn't quite make myself do that. And now that you reminded me about Saquon going back to MetLife, I'm kind of happy.
Yeah, exactly. That's 100% agreement there.
All right, well, that was easy. we never have that quick of an agreement.
Yeah.
All right. That was great. So moving on then, I guess. Raiders and Rams.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This one is featuring 2 weak teams there.
Yeah, they're 2 interesting teams. I will say that. The Raiders letting go of one player and refusing to let go of another. I'm mad. Let him go. He wants to go. Let him come home. Please. But
And
they won't.
obviously, the Rams are still hampered with the injuries there, the Cup and Puka Nacua.
Right. Although, in disappointing fantasy football news, I had to move Cooper Kupp out of my injured reserve because now he is slated to potentially make a return in week 8, I want to say.
Oh boy.
Yeah, my fantasy team, for context, had 3 players on the IR. It was Cooper Kupp, Devin Singletary, and Jake Moody. All of them were upgraded from out to questionable the same day. And so I had to make room. I had to go and release players that I didn't want to release just to pull them back out. Even though Jake Moody is still likely to miss an entire month of action, he is not for some reason listed on the IR. What is up with that?
Yeah.
He's not going to play for a month, but we're still going to just list him as questionable? No. He has a bad habit, this coach, of not letting people know what's going on, because we all knew the CMC was not going to be playing, you know, but they didn't put him on the IR, and now they're doing the exact same thing with Jake Moody, and it's messing me over in fantasy, and I'm mad about it.
Exactly.
But anyway, getting to this game in particular, Cooper Kupp might be making a return soon, but it won't be for this game. Not that they really need him because they're facing the Raiders. So they have the luck that I was hoping Detroit would have. Shame.
Yeah. But for me, I'm going to go with a bit of a gamble there. I'm going to go with the Raiders on the road to upset the Rams.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's another one, because I wanted to do that as well. But I am trusting the Rams off the bye. And just hoping that Stafford and his ragtag group of receivers can be good enough to get through this. And then I think they also have Kaaron Williams. on the run game. So as long as their defense can hold up, the Raiders don't really have much in the way of an offense. So this is going to be an incredibly low-scoring game, in my opinion. I would be surprised if either of them makes it over, say, 25.
Okay.
All right, and then next up, speaking of bad teams, we have the Panthers. And they will be going to Washington to take on a team that I really hope wins their division with the Commanders.
True. Yeah,
I really like this team.
Obviously, with the Commanders, they need a bounce-back game there. They did really well against the Ravens.
Yeah, they held their own.
They lost.
Yeah, they held their own, though. They performed very, very well against Baltimore. I was impressed. Yeah. I was very happy to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, but this one's going to be a no-brainer there. I'm going with the Commanders at home to slaughter the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was close. Again, you know, the Panthers kind of had a bit of a scary game against Atlanta, so they might here as well, but I'm definitely in agreement. I really do like Washington as a team. I think that they're surprising a lot of people, and it's really interesting. So I agree with you there. This game coming up is going to be very interesting for me.
Yeah.
We have the Chiefs and the Niners in a matchup that I, at one point, would have thought for this year to be my Super Bowl pick. Until I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and give another AFC team some love and go ahead and trust Baltimore. I should have trusted my gut and gone with the Chiefs, but I didn't.
True. Yeah. A lot of people's Super Bowl pick there this year.
Yeah, I mean, I could honestly see it being 2 back-to-back Super Bowls between these two and the Chiefs winning both of them.
Yeah.
I could see it. I wouldn't want to see it, but I could see it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Obviously, with the Chiefs there, they're still undefeated there, even though a lot of their games were really close there.
Yeah, well, I mean, much like Atlanta, right? They are one play going the other direction from being undefeated as well. Like, they have had one heck of a season, and if they would have gotten a couple of calls like Kansas City did, or if the ball would have bounced the right way, they would be in Kansas City's position right now. But, unfortunately, they're not.
Yeah. So, for me, that's going to be a close game. I'm going with my my usual.
Your usual 3 points or less special.
Yeah, exactly there. And I'm going to go with the Chiefs on the road to beat the Niners.
Thank God we didn't split this one. I was so worried. I was so worried because this is another one that I honestly could have gone either way with. But I think that San Francisco having to face a juggernaut like the Chiefs off of the Chiefs' bye week when they're already damaged and they already seem to have a few defensive issues on their side of the ball, it wasn't fair. The NFL really did San Francisco dirty, and if San Francisco makes it to the Super Bowl or the playoffs, they're going to earn it. They will be the one who earns it the most this year. But I'm in agreement. I'm taking the Chiefs because momentum, you know, and San Francisco's broken. And until they can prove to me that they're fixing it, I can't in good conscience go with them against a team like this. Well, that's foreshadowing for the next game, isn't it? We have the Jets and the Steelers.
Yeah.
Great.
I seen somewhere that Russell Wilson's taking the first team snaps in practice there.
He is, yeah. The plan allegedly is to play them both. Kind of like the Saints did with Taysom Hill and Drew Brees and Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, and you know, pick a quarterback that Taysom Hill has played with. He's pretty much played quarterback as well. But yeah, so I guess that's the plan out of Pittsburgh. I understand why they're doing it because they did go out and get Russell Wilson to be the starter. So I get it, but at the same time, it feels kind of unfair to Fields, who, in my opinion, has earned the starting job. Getting them to 4-2. Now, again, to be fair, the defense had a major hand in that, and their kicker had a major hand in that. But you can't discredit Justin Fields for what he has been able to do, finally kind of finding his place and finding his pace and all of that. So
exactly.
I kind of feel bad for him if he ends up losing his starting job to Russell Wilson, who hasn't played. So I would feel bad. So the fact that they're going to end up using both of them, now is not the time to be experimenting. You are tied for first place in your division. This is not the time to be doing that, especially against the Jets, who might very well end up surprising you, especially since, shock of all shocks, said no one ever, they went out and got Davante Adams for Aaron Rodgers. It is so cool that Aaron Rodgers can not only be the quarterback that never takes the blame for things, but he can also be the coach who decides what he wants to do and be the GM who decides what players he brings in. This man has so much power. It's unfathomable how he's even able to juggle all of those hats. Honestly, my hat is off to you, sir, for being able to handle all of that pressure. How? How do you handle all of that pressure and then still find time to dodge media questions and criticism over your lackluster play? How? It's impressive. Pat McAfee helps, though. Pat McAfee is a good surrogate to help dodge those questions. Good job.
Exactly.
That, surround yourself with good people. They'll always have your back.
Exactly.
If you couldn't tell, I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. And I'm going against him every single week because I can. And I'm going to trust TJ Watt to do TJ Watt things.
Yeah.
And I'm going with the Steelers.
100% agree with you this week. They're
cool.
Obviously, the Jets will win some games there, but unfortunately, it won't be this week. They're against the Steel Curtain.
They're not winning them in my mind.
Yeah.
And the cool thing as well is also that Davante Adams is expected to play this game, despite sitting out the last few weeks with a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
So, future me, go ahead and cue up the Kevin Nash gif of him standing up from the wheelchair completely fine, even though he broke his leg. Yeah. It's that kind of a situation. I hate everything about this. I'm going to throw a party when he retires. We are going to get together and I'm going to have a no more Rodgers party.
Who's going to throw it? Your father?
I don't know. I don't know who's going to throw it. I don't know who's going to be there. If you want to be on the guest list, let me know in the comments below. I will send out invitations. We are throwing a virtual, at the very least, Rodgers retirement party.
There you go.
Moving on to Monday, we have the Ravens and Tampa.
Yeah, the first of two Monday nighters there.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Tampa, that's their first game at home since the Hurricane Milton there.
Right, yeah. That is going to be definitely an interesting homecoming. Although, from what I understand, the Hurricane did definitely tear through and do a lot, but it also dipped to the south a little bit. So it could have been a lot worse than it was. And so I'm just very thankful that it did not do the reported damage that we were all warned about, because that was very, very scary.
Yeah, because obviously the biggest damage of all in Tampa was to their baseball stadium there.
Yeah, tore the entire roof off of Tropicana Field. That was insane. Yeah, watching the hurricane coverage, I'm kind of a bit of a storm junkie. I love watching storm chasing videos and meteorology stuff online, and so I was kind of watching that as it was happening. It was like, you couldn't pay me to live in Florida, honestly. Nothing really happens up in Michigan. We get snow. We get, the occasional blizzard every now and then, a couple of feet, but nothing to the sheer magnitude of other places in the country. And it's like, I like my bubble. I like where I live. I'm very happy.
Be happy where you live.
Exactly. I'm extremely happy where I live. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, to be fair.
Sorry.
But for this game, it might be a bit of a rude homecoming, because they have the Red Hot Ravens right now, who have, King Henry's going to be coming in tow. We always have Lamar Jackson involved.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see how their defense can handle the juggernaut run game that Baltimore has.
Yeah, good luck there, Baker Mayfield.
Right, well, here's the thing. It's not really even on Baker. Because, I think that Baker's offense will do just fine against the defense of the Ravens. I would be concerned with how Tampa's defense can do against the offense of the Ravens. I think they're going to be in for a rough game.
Sure. Yeah. But for me, this one's going to be a no-brainer for me. I'm going to go with the Ravens on the road to beat the BUCS.
I am also taking the Ravens, but I would be on upset alert for this one.
Okay.
Because the Ravens do tend to make some pretty stupid mistakes. Lamar Jackson does tend to fumble every now and then. And to me, their defense ain't great. It's getting there. It's coming together, but it's not great.
Yeah.
And so I would be primed and poised for an upset, but I am also trusting in King Henry because I have to. So next is our last game of the week. They kind of picked a weird capper, in my opinion. We have the Chargers and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, from the scheduling perspective, when you have the Ravens and Bucks right there.
Yeah.
But
on the main network, ESPN and ABC there, and and the Chargers and the Cardinals are going to be on ESPN Plus.
Okay, good. So they did flip-flop those.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, the NFL released that they were making some scheduling changes for the week after I already did all of the work on my side and formatting everything. So if things are a little off or not formatted the way they're supposed to be, that would be why, because they did things after the fact.
Please bear with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. It was so I didn't know that the Ravens technically should have been the last game that we did, because that's if you're a wrestling fan, the Ravens and the Bucks are the main event of the week. I was unaware of that fact, so my bad. But for now, we have the final game that we are discussing, Chargers Cardinals. What say you?
Obviously, you never heard the news last week about Harbaugh suffering a heart arrhythmia. Yeah.
He suffered a what?
A heart arrhythmia.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that he had an issue with his pants.
Nope.
I thought that was the problem because he
minor thing with his heart there.
Okay.
So hopefully he'll be healed up there to coach the team there this week there.
Yeah, hopefully. I did not know about that. The only thing that I heard was that he was feeling ill. He went to the locker room and then he came back with a different pair of pants, and so that was just kind of the assumption from a lot of people making jokes about things that he had other issues involving that, but hopefully he'll be good. Yeah.
And obviously with the Cardinals, they're going to be without Marvin Harrison Jr. there on their wide receiver core.
I think that's definitely going to affect them a lot in this game. And honestly, that's the primary reason, outside of me spiting them for letting me down last week, that I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, 100% agree with you on that one.
Yeah, it's just they're damaged. I'm annoyed with them for not putting up any kind of a fight against Green Bay. And so Chargers win. Whoa.
So with that done, it's now time to dive into our friends' picks for the week.
First up, we have John, who took the Broncos, like I wanted to, the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Bills, Bengals, Texans, Colts, and Lions, the Giants, the Rams, Commanders, Chiefs, Jets, unfortunately, Ravens, and Chargers. So honestly, he made a lot of picks that I wanted to make, but I couldn't because I'm a coward.
Yeah.
Alright, next we have SDS, who also took the Broncos, the Patriots, the Lions, the Bills, Colts, Seahawks, Packers, and Bengals. Also took the Giants, the Rams, Commanders, 49ers, Jets, Bucks, and Chargers. And then we've got Troll, who took his Saints, the Jags, the Vikings, Titans, Dolphins, Seahawks, Texans, Bengals, Giants as well, Raiders, Panthers, Niners, Steelers, thank you, brother, Ravens, and Chargers. There's going to be a lot of people going with the Giants, aren't there? It's going to make me so sad. It is going to make me so sad because I really wanted to go with them, and there's going to be so many people taking them. Let's see. Next we have Buff, who took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, Jacksonville Jaguars, Washington, D.C. Commanders, Pittsburgh Steelers, San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, Miami Dolphins, Las Vegas Raiders, Denver Broncos, Arizona Cardinals, Cincinnati Bengals, Philadelphia Eagles, and Tennessee Titans. In an interesting pick, but I'm here for it. And then we've got Papa Agron. Broncos over Saints, Jaguars over Patriots, Lions over Vikings, one can hope, Bills over Titans, Colts over Dolphins, Seahawks over Falcons, Texans over the Packers, going with a hot take, Bengals over the Browns, another one, hot takes, Giants over the Eagles, Rams over Raiders, Commanders over Panthers, 49ers over Chiefs, Jets over Steelers, Ravens over Bucks, and Cardinals over the Chargers.
Okay.
And then Biggers. Saints, Patriots, Bengals, Vikings, Falcons, Packers, Colts, and Bills. Eagles, Commanders, Rams, Chiefs, Steelers, Bucks, and Chargers. He was saying that it hurt and it felt really weird to not go with the Ravens because he's the Ravens fan of the group. So I feel you. I also went against my home team. It felt gross. So I feel you, Biggs. Next we have Rev, who took the Saints, Jags, Falcons, Bills, Bengals, Texans, Colts, and Lions, Eagles, Rams, Commanders, Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens, and his Chargers. And then we have Owl, who took the Saints to win over the Broncos, Patriots win over Jaguars, the Lions barely win over the Vikings in a tight game, Bills win over Titans, Dolphins win over Colts, the Eagles win over the Giants, Raiders over the Rams, Commanders win over Panthers, Chiefs over Niners, Steelers to win over the Jets, the Bucks to win over the Ravens. So that's interesting. We have multiple people going with that game. Cardinals win over the Chargers, Bengals over Browns, Texans over Packers, and Falcons over Seahawks. And then last on our list, we have Draz. Broncos beat the Saints. Jaguars beat the Patriots in worst game of the season, potentially. The Lions edge Vikes. Bills beat Titans. Colts beat Dolphins. Colts beat Dolphins. Falcons beat Seahawks. Packers beat Texans because I believe in love. Hi, you're in bed. I don't like the Packers either, or having to say that I believe in love. Calm down. Bengals beat Browns because Ohio isn't real. The Giants beat the Eagles, honoring his SDS honor pact. Rams beat the Raiders. Brady buying shares is the highlight of the Raiders season. That is something we didn't talk about, but apparently Tom Brady invested 10% of shares or something. So, yeah, that's not at all surprising because, of course, he would. But also, you know, maybe he'll actually have some input and that can actually help the Raiders out. Commanders beat Panthers, 49ers beat Chiefs, the Steelers beat the Jets, and he's just asking, why do both teams I like miss more field goals than they make? Because the kicking team isn't the focus of those two teams, Strauss.
There you go.
Why would they care? They have hotshot quarterbacks for a reason. They're supposed to do the scoring, not the kicker.
Exactly.
Ravens beat the BUCS. Cardinals beat the Chargers. All Charger wins are against bad teams. I no trust them. Yeah, me no likey either. Alright. Well, and that is that. This one was a bit longer than I would have liked, but they did give us 15 games, which is why the picks sheets were off-center and not even, and I'm mad about it.
Sure.
Thanks, NFL.
Yeah.
But there we have that. That was week 7 of the NFL Pickems versus. Thanks to all of us, all of you guys for joining. Thanks for the members, Richard, Sandra, and George, as always, for the continued support. Anything you would like to end off with?
And obviously to all our fans there, please like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for all our future versus videos on here.
Yep, exactly. It is definitely going to be a fun season to finish off with. We'll be going through all 18 weeks, then the playoffs, and then the Super Bowl, and of course the aforementioned Black Monday video that we also do every year.
Exactly.
Unsure if it's going to have John in it again. If we can schedule that out, that might be pretty cool to do that again, because it's always nice to have the extra perspective and thought process as well.
Yeah, and of course, check the links for all of Joy's videos on here.
Yep, you can check out the links in the description below. If you are part of my Seymour squad, then you know what's down there for you waiting as well. I appreciate those of you who have joined in on that. And I will catch you guys, we will catch you guys next week for week 8 of the NFL Pick'ems podcast.
Thank you all. See you all next week.